Krebs, and I'm the president of the National Junior Honor Society. Welcome to the Week 18 update with Dr. Pettinger.
Thank you, Marissa, for that introduction. Boy, she's been busy this week. We had National Junior Honor Society inductions yesterday, and now she's giving introductions for me today. She does a great job, and we'll talk a little bit more about National Junior Honor Society a little bit later in the show. So many of you may have had the opportunity to tune into that yesterday, but today we have some things that we want to review with you. And we're starting right out with COVID. So the number one thing I want to talk to you about is the COVID crew. I've talked to you about COVID over the months since we've opened in September, and the COVID crew. And that's a group of parents who have been volunteering through Sean Menendez, our PST president, to come help us do screenings. The first 2 weeks of school, we had 6 parents doing it, 2 per gate and 3 gates. Since then, we've dropped down to 2 gates, which was by design and because the flow of students would be equaling out throughout the time frame that they come in, which is 7:45 to 8:30. Considering we have over 400 families here at Grace Christian School, if every family had one person volunteer once, you would only need to volunteer 1 time per a school year. Fortunately, we have a dedicated group of about 6 to 8 individuals who have been volunteering day after day to come help, and they're getting a little tired. They need a little bit of a break. And so I know there's a 90-10 rule out there where 10% do 90% of the work, and I don't ever like to look at that because I know every family is different, like I tell my finance class. But this is a plea from me to you that if there's any way in your schedule you can free up from 7:45 in the morning to 8:30, I encourage you to reach out to Sean Menendez. And she is our PST president, and she will assign you a day or two that you can come help us do screening. And everything we do is within protocols of the California Department of Health, the CDC, and the Orange County Department of Health. We will give you a mask if you don't have one. We will give you a face shield to go over your mask. We will give you gloves. We have hand sanitizer, and we have the thermometer and everything. It's pretty simple. You're screening the student for their temperature as they're coming in, asking them how they feel today. If the temperature is off or they don't seem to be feeling well, then what you do is just pull them to the side, and the office staff then takes over. But we really could use a few more volunteers stepping up, and it would be a great help for everyone. I am so indebted to the COVID crew that is helping right now. But just think, parents, we have over 400 families. Even if half of the families volunteered one day, we would knock out the rest of the school year without any problems. So please help us do this. And the reason I'm so persistent on this is we have vision screening coming up here very soon. And with St. Mary's Hospital, they came out here and did a visitation of our campus to make sure they were going to be able to do things, because at other schools they were canceling. You need to know this, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, whoever's watching. They were so thoroughly impressed with the protocols that are taking place here on this campus, they asked for a copy of them. They went back and looked at some of our videos that they are showing to other schools to emulate our protocols and procedures. Because of this, they're going to be able to come onto our campus. It's going to be delayed, I think, by 3 weeks, but they're going to be able to come onto our campus and do the vision screening for us because we have such strong protocols in place. And one of those protocols is the COVID crew that does the screening in the morning. It's only from, if you got here at 7:44, you could get your cart, get your safety equipment on, and you're walking out of here at 8:31. And it is a big, big help to all of us. Also, I want to remind you, if your child isn't feeling well, keep them home. If anyone in your family has been exposed to COVID or someone has COVID, please pick up the phone and call Christy O'Rue. She is our COVID coordinator, and she will be able to walk you through what the procedures are, what the protocols are, in order to keep all of our families here at the school safe. Now, in addition to that, I've reminded you during every video that we do, don't second guess why people aren't here. There are numbers of reasons why an individual may not be on campus, and we have to protect the rights and privacy of every one of our students. You know, I heard some disappointing news this last week that we had a parent who's sitting listening to distance learning live broadcast, trying to figure out who and who isn't in classrooms and then contacting parents. This isn't why we do distance learning and might be the reason we don't make it live or are not allowed to call out names in class anymore, because we need to protect the privacy. And there's a thin line between wanting to know and needing to know. If there's information that pertains to the safety of any of our students, any of our staff, anyone on our campus, we will be the first to notify you, as we have since that first day when we started back on August 23rd. We want to keep our record clean, and that's why we're here for 18 weeks. So parents, please protect the privacy of other students and know that Mrs. O'Rue and myself are going to exceed the standards put in place by the Orange County Department of Health, California Department of Health, and the CDC in order to keep our schools safe and to keep our school open. Those are the number one things that we want to do here. I was also reading an article that colds and flu, this is the smallest cold and flu season they have on record. Now they're trying to say that the reason for no colds is because kids are social distancing and washing their hands and wearing masks. Other subject matter experts are saying it's because they're not allowed to go to school and not allowed to see other students. So there's a little bit of debate on why that is happening. Also, I wanted to share with you some information from the Orange County Department of Health. And I told you, as we do things here, everything's data driven. Please, you can't count on the media to give you factual information. And this came to us just by a slip as I was looking through an old video. But what I'm going to display here is a July 20th copy of the Orange County Department of Health's webpage that I posted for you during one of my summer updates. And I want to post the current Orange County Department of Health Tier 1 updates that they're there. And I want you to be able to see this. As you look here, in the top left corner, that is the July 20th, right up here where it says 192. That's the July 20th cases per 100,000 people in Orange County. If you look closely at that, please forgive me as I'm moving in and out on my microphone here looking at this, you will see that it's a 14-day with a 3-day lag. And that's 192 people per 100,000 are tested positive for COVID in Orange County. It also shows next to it 13.2% of the people that were taking a COVID test are testing positive. And if you look down below, the hospitalization rate was down by 4.3% when this took place, and we had 61% of ventilators available. I want you to look over to the right at that number. It's 78.8 per 100,000 people have COVID today. That's today, January 14th in Orange County. But those numbers are a 7-day average with a 7-day lag. So these numbers that we're looking at right here at 78.8 still take into account all the Christmas and New Year gatherings that took place. And these numbers are substantially lower than what they were on July 20th. So there is a difference, and I'm sure some of that has to do with a 14-day average versus a 7-day average, a 3-day lag versus a 7-day lag. And we're going to be asking those questions when we talk to the health department tomorrow. Also, you'll notice that there was a 13.2% positive testing rate, and now we're at 19. Those numbers are high. I'll be the first to say that, but I need you to look at them and know in perspective. Back on July 20th, we had 61% of our ventilators available, and currently there's 35%, and the hospitalization rate has went down 1.4. When I was looking at it, hospital rates in Orange County have dropped for 6 straight days. So that's all great news, and I also want you to know that Mrs. O'Rue and I are sitting on a vaccine conference call this morning with the Orange County Department of Health as they are making vaccines available to school personnel, and we are going to be going through with them, understanding what that schedule looks like and the process for those individuals wanting to get the vaccine, and we'll get that information to you quickly. But I wanted you to see these numbers as we record everything, and we use numbers to make our decisions here at Grace. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is the antibodies. I remember I told you last week I was going in for the antibody test. I was given two different tests. One's a preliminary, and it did test positive. The second one was a more advanced type blood antibody test, I'm told, and it tested positive. So I feel really good about that. I have strong antibodies against the disease, and they will be having me back in 6 weeks to take another blood test and to see how long the antibodies last. And I will be sharing that with you. I promised as I went along how long they stayed in my system and everything. To me, I think it's kind of interesting to follow along to get information like that. All right, next up, what we're going to talk about is enrollment. Re-enrollment time is here at Grace Christian School, and we are in-house re-enrollment going on this week. It is going wonderful. You're getting your information turned in, you're getting your questions answered, and you're securing your spaces for next year. Next week, we open to the public, and when we open to the public, that means that all 40 of the people who are on Selena's list will get called and told that they can come in and process. Now, some of those people have already left checks and everything so that Monday morning when the doors open, Selena processes the applications and just sends them on their way. So remember, you have until Friday to get in your paperwork. Next thing I want to talk to you about is teacher requests. Grace Christian School has been around for 70 years. For over 70 years, it has existed, and I've been here quite a long time. And let's hear, love these updates. Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, Mr. Sherman. And I had been here 5 years, and during my time, before I got here, there were never teacher requests. My first 5 years, there were not teacher requests either. And I wanted to see what it would be like, so I implemented a teacher request program and have allowed it to go through what we call one complete cycle. That means that a kid coming in or a student in TK would go all the way through and cycle through our 8th grade program. And that is coming up right now, and I've reevaluated the program, and we are not going to be continuing with teacher requests. There are a number of reasons going into this. Number one, it's kind of turned into a popularity contest. Number two, I've had parents requesting teachers they don't even know when they're coming in for the first time. Number three, it really does hamper our current classroom teachers as they're splitting up classes, and your child's current classroom teacher knows them the best. They know which teacher in the upper grade is going to do the best thing for them, and we need to be able to do that. We've also had some teacher requests from parents that are quite unique. I want Billy in Mrs. A's class, but I don't want Sally and Fred in the class with her or with Billy. And so they try to, through their request, also request where other children are going, and that's not fair. So we felt the best thing, the school existed for 50 years, 55 years before I changed the policy. I've looked at it, and I've been slow in looking at it and making sure we looked at all avenues. But after talking to staff and talking to some parents and talking to teachers, we feel that this is the best thing for our school, as we've also interviewed many other schools, and they do exactly the same thing. So I just want to make sure you hear that first from me, and you don't say, hey, I heard this rumor out there. It's not a rumor. It's 100% factual. So that is the procedure moving forward here. And you know what? I think we have all great teachers, and it's great for a child to be able to learn to work with different types of behaviors and personalities as they're growing up here in the elementary, junior high years. So we'll leave it at that. Those of you who tuned in to see me yesterday saw that I was preempted. The National Junior Honor Society had their induction program, and it was spectacular. They did a wonderful job introducing their new members and bringing them into the society. What was so special about it was we even had a student who was on distance learning who got inducted to the National Junior Honor Society and was there via a Chromebook. Actually, it was an iPad, and we had that student there the entire time. They went on stage. We had a National Junior Honor Society student carry the iPad on stage. They were given their pin, went through. They posed in front of the camera for their picture. And I mean, who would have ever thought 20 years ago, parents, when we were kids, that something like that would be possible? But it went. We didn't have to cancel it. Every parent had the best view possible. And if you had to go to work that day, you didn't miss a day of work, you could tune in right on our YouTube channel and be able to see your child get inducted to the Hall of Fame, I was going to say, into our National Junior Honor Society. Marissa, our president, did a great job. She's who introduced me at the beginning of this, and she is just a natural-born speaker. I think a big thanks also goes out to Mrs. Narigian. Mrs. Narigian has taken this National Junior Honor Society over the last 7 years and just had it explode with all the different things they do. They have helped at animal shelters. They've helped at hospitals. They went to the Ronald McDonald House and baked cookies. They've had toy drives. They put into place little libraries in downtown LA. They've had sock drives. They've fed the police department. They've fed the fire department. They've had food drives. They've had Thanksgiving drives. And, they've also did beach cleanup. This is a group on the move. And I really encourage you, parents, if your child's in 4th grade or 5th grade, you need to talk to them now about starting to plan to want to apply to be in National Junior Honor Society, because the things they do will make a difference. If your child is going on to high school and wants to get into some special club, such as junior, or not nat, it's just National Honor Society, this is a great opportunity and gets their foot in the door for that, and also for college applications, to be able to come back and say, these are things you did as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader. It shows that you are a mature, well-defined individual. So congratulations to all the new inductees. Parents, congratulations to you for raising such amazing kids. And I know there are a number of students out there who just didn't apply, but I encourage you to apply next year. And I'd love to see you in the society, because I can always count on those guys to help out where needed. Hey, guess what? Valentine's Day is coming, and Grace Christian School is doing you a solid. We have the C's Chocolate Candy Store on our website. We've also sent out links for it, that you can purchase chocolate for your loved ones and have it delivered. Can you believe that? You don't even have to fight the crowds to go to C's. You know, if you're looking at getting our COVID coordinator, Christy O'Rue, something, she loves nuts and chews. If you're sending in your re-enrollment pack, Selena Mullaney, she says she's a nuts and chew person too. And Barbara in the office, she said she loves Bridge Mix. I'm like, Bridge Mix? Where's my grandma at? But they don't offer that right now. But Barbara said she loves nuts and chews also. But anyway, the C's Chocolate Store will be on our website, available for shopping from all of our parents until January 29th. We do make a little something off of it, off every sale, and the prices, I'm told, are exactly the same as they are in the stores. Parents, I'm just flabbergasted. We have 32 people tuning in today. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate that. And one of the final things to talk about is today is early release. Students are getting out at 11:30, and if you're just now seeing this and didn't realize that, students are out at 11:30. There is no lunch service. So if you're seeing this for the first time and you didn't send a lunch for your child, please call the office right now and let them know. So we have a little bit of a head start. We're not going to let any student go hungry, and so that we can figure out an alternative method to get them something to eat. So that's where we are. It's our in-service today is we're going over WASC, which is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, our accreditation. There's some things that we need to get taken care of that we have put off because of COVID and haven't had the opportunity to do some things. So today's a big work day to knock those final things out. But remember, if you want to join the COVID crew, reach out to Sean. She will get you. It's painless. We love the people that do it. We love you even if you can't do it. But that's where we are. And next week will be week 19. Don't forget, we are off Monday in order to honor Martin Luther King. So you have a 3-day weekend coming up. I hope all of you enjoy it. Stay safe. It's a tongue twister. And can't wait to see you tomorrow on campus or on Tuesday, or not on campus, but walking around. I'm getting so confused. Anyway, parents, it's a privilege and an honor for all of us on the staff to be able to work with you and develop tomorrow's leaders. And I know we have some great leaders, as I've seen in National Junior Honor Society and just walking around from all of our classes. To the 32 parents who are tuning in right now, and to the over 400 who will view this, thank you so much, and I hope all of you have an amazing day and stay safe.